You ever wonder what it looks like when Hollywood royalty retires from the throne? Not the kind that waves from balconies with corgis and tiaras, but the kind that built Hollywood cool with nothing but a devilish grin, a pair of sunglasses, and a voice that sounds like a bourbon-soaked secret. Yeah, we're talking about Jack freaking Nicholson, the last king of Hollywood, a man who turned madness into art and charm into currency. Behind the iron gates of Mulholland Drive, hidden by hedges taller than egos at the Oscars, lies Nicholson's legendary LA fortress. It's not a mansion, it's a myth, a place where old scripts whisper from dusty shelves and the air smells faintly of cigars, citrus, and cinematic glory. But before we stroll through this kingdom of quiet rebellion, let's rewind the reel, because Jack Nicholson didn't start as the king. He started as the kid who didn't even know who his mother was. Born in 1937 in Neptune, New Jersey, yeah, the name alone sounds like destiny, Jack grew up believing his grandparents were his parents, and his actual mother was his older sister. That secret stayed buried until Time magazine unearthed it decades later, shocking even Hollywood's gossip veterans. Imagine finding out your entire family tree was written by M. Night Shyamalan. Suddenly, Nicholson's trademark chaos made perfect sense. At 17, he packed his bags and hit California, not for fame, but to become an animator. He landed a job at Hanna-Barbera, sketching between coffee runs. Picture that, the future Joker drawing Scooby-Doo. Somewhere, destiny must have laughed, but Jack wasn't meant to color inside the lines. Acting came calling, and he answered with a smirk. Between dodging the draft with the California Air National Guard and chasing auditions, he sharpened his craft in B-movies and low-budget thrillers. The Crybaby Killer was his first lead role in 1958, a film few saw, but the industry took notice. His style was raw, hungry, and unpredictable, like Hollywood had just met its first rock star in a leather jacket instead of a guitar. Then came 1969, Easy Rider. One role, one drunken lawyer, and suddenly Jack wasn't just an actor, he was a revolution in sunglasses. That Oscar nomination didn't just put him on the map, it carved his face onto the Mount Rushmore of cool. And if you think Easy Rider made him a star, wait till you see what the 1970s did next. That's when Nicholson stopped acting in movies and started owning them. He didn't play characters, he possessed them. The last detail, Chinatown. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Each one a masterclass in controlled madness. He won his first Best Actor Oscar in 1975, and from that point on, Hollywood didn't just cast him, it orbited him. Because when Jack Nicholson walked into a room, you didn't just see a man, you saw the storm. The 1980s didn't just keep the fire burning, they threw gasoline on it. Jack was no longer just Hollywood's favorite rebel, he was its unhinged philosopher, the guy who could make crazy look like confidence. Then came 1980's The Shining. One axe, one line. Here's Johnny. And suddenly Nicholson wasn't just acting, he was haunting pop culture. That grin, immortal, that madness, Oscar-worthy. It wasn't a performance, it was possession on film. And if you thought he peaked there, he turned around and broke hearts in terms of endearment, snagging another Oscar. This time for making vulnerability look as dangerous as rage. By the time the 90s rolled around, Jack was untouchable. Courtroom drama, A Few Good Men, romantic comedy, as good as it gets. Mob thriller, The Departed. Whatever genre Hollywood threw at him, he didn't just hit it, he hit it back with a smirk and a one-liner. You can't handle the truth? Yeah, we're still quoting it 3 decades later. The man didn't just act, he built an empire on charisma and chaos. But behind every great legend is an even greater address. In Jack's main base of operations, a fortress perched above Los Angeles, his Mulholland Drive compound. It's not the flashy Beverly Hills kind where influencers pose by infinity pools. This place is old-school power wrapped in mystery. He bought the first lot in 1969, back when he was more cult favorite than box office titan, and just kept expanding. It's like Monopoly, but for movie icons. Over time, he quietly snapped up neighboring lots until his domain sprawled across 3 acres of pure cinematic privacy. The gates, black iron, the hedges, tall enough to block even Hollywood's tallest egos. Beyond them, a private world that feels like stepping into another dimension. There's no paparazzi here, no flashing lights, just the soft hum of canyon breezes and the occasional jazz record spinning through open windows. A zen pond with floating water hyacinths greets you like the calm before a creative storm. Inside, the home balances rugged warmth and quiet sophistication. Vaulted ceilings and exposed beams meet floor-to-ceiling windows that pull in sunlight like it's auditioning for a role. The main living area flows seamlessly into the dining and kitchen space, creating a kind of open-concept ease that says, yes, I've won 3 Oscars, but I still make my own coffee. The upstairs office, a panoramic command post overlooking the city, where Jack reportedly read scripts, painted, or just stared into the horizon like he was about to deliver another life-changing monologue. His master suite has dual bathrooms, a deep soaking tub, and a walk-in closet large enough to store 5 decades worth of Lakers jackets, tuxedos, and probably a few secrets. And when the sun sets, that's when the fortress really starts to breathe. Out back, there's a glittering pool and spa surrounded by granite-paved lounging areas, perfect for quiet dinners, spontaneous storytelling, or the kind of laughter that only happens after midnight. It's less a celebrity home and more a living museum of good taste. Nothing gaudy, nothing loud, just a space that whispers legacy. But for a man who defined Hollywood rebellion, even peace had to have a view. And that's where his Malibu estate comes in. A place so serene, it makes the LA fortress look like a rave. If you thought the Mulholland Fortress was the king's castle, wait till you see his seaside throne. Because out in Malibu, Jack traded city lights for ocean waves. And what he built there wasn't a beach house. It was a meditation in wood, wind, and wisdom. The Malibu estate is where the king traded chaos for calm. Spread over nearly 70 acres of eucalyptus-lined serenity, it's less celebrity beach house and more Zen monastery with better wine. No marble columns, no neon-lit driveways, just a single-story home quietly breathing in ocean air, perfectly content to let the Pacific do all the talking. Walk through the front door and the world just slows down. The wood paneling glows like warm whiskey. Sunlight filters through arched windows. And somewhere in the distance, you can almost hear a jazz sax solo echoing through the trees. 2 fireplaces hold the heart of the house. One elegant, one salvaged. Because of course, Jack would give a second life to a misfit mantle. Every room spills into the next like a slow conversation. The kitchen, all farmhouse charm and old Hollywood comfort, opens to a family room where French doors lead to the terrace. Step outside and you're in a private park. Stone planters, a shimmering pool, a manicured garden that probably gets more peace and quiet than most monasteries. It's the anti-LA mansion, modest in scale, massive in soul. The master suite overlooks rolling greenery and the distant sea, while the guest rooms are wrapped in eucalyptus shade, each one whispering, "Stay a while." Here, the man who once chopped down doors in The Shining spends afternoons reading scripts or listening to the ocean talk back. It's not isolation, it's insulation from the noise of fame. And tucked inside this quiet paradise, his car collection, because even legends need their chariots. Forget the hypercars and influencer Ferraris. Jack's garage is pure taste, not testosterone. First up, the Mercedes-Benz 600 SWB, the same model that chauffeured rock stars, presidents, and dictators who all thought they ruled the world until they met Nicholson. Under the hood, a 6.3-liter V8 hums like it knows it's carrying royalty. Inside, leather and wood wrap around you like a luxury time machine straight from 1972. Then there's the Bentley Mulsanne extended wheelbase. Basically a private jet with license plates. A twin-turbo V8 pushes out over 500 horsepower, but this car isn't built to race, it's built to arrive. The back seat is a leather-lined command center where Jack could read scripts, sip whiskey, or negotiate a $60 million deal without ever raising his voice. And parked quietly beside them, a Range Rover, because sometimes even the king of Hollywood just wants to drive up a canyon and disappear. Adaptive air suspension, panoramic roof, four-wheel drive. It's rugged grace, much like Jack himself. No chrome circus, no roaring engines, just smooth, confident power. His cars don't scream, they nod. But the real horsepower of Jack Nicholson's empire isn't in his garage, it's on his walls. Because while other stars were blowing paychecks on yachts and scandals, Jack was quietly building one of the most valuable private art collections in Hollywood history. His walls are a conversation between centuries. Picasso hangs next to Matisse. Monet's calm water lilies reflect across from Degas' dancers. There's a Modigliani portrait, a Rodin bronze, even a Magritte staring back like a riddle in oil paint. These aren't trophies, they're friends. Pieces collected when he was still the scrappy actor in the 60s who couldn't afford yachts but knew real value when he saw it. Today, that collection is worth an estimated $150 million, putting him in the same art league as David Bowie and David Geffen. Except Nicholson didn't build it to brag, he built it to feel. Art, he once said, is the only thing that keeps you company when the applause fades. And for Jack, those canvases weren't just decor. They were proof that even chaos can be beautiful when you frame it right. But if you think his eye for art was sharp, wait till you see how keen he was with business. Because behind the shades and swagger was a man who turned acting into an equation. The final act of his legacy? A masterclass in playing the Hollywood game better than anyone else. See, most actors chase fame. Jack Nicholson chased ownership. While others cashed their checks and called it a day, Jack studied contracts like they were screenplays. He understood early that the real power in Hollywood wasn't on the stage. It was in the fine print behind it. In 1975, while filming One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nicholson made a deal that would make even Wall Street jealous: a $1 million salary plus 15% of the film's gross profits. That movie went nuclear at the box office and earned him the equivalent of $60 million in today's money. One deal, one decision, and suddenly Jack wasn't just a star. He was a stakeholder in his own myth. But the masterpiece came later. 1989, Batman. He took just $6 million up front to play the Joker, but negotiated a piece of the box office, home video, and merchandising rights. When the dust settled, Nicholson walked away with an estimated $60 to $90 million payday. That single role still ranks as one of the richest film deals in history. Forget the clown makeup. He was the real financial genius behind the mask. He kept playing chess while everyone else played checkers. Chinatown earned him $500,000. The Shining brought in $1.25 million. As Good as It Gets bagged him $15 million. Anger Management clocked $20 million. And both The Departed and The Bucket List earned another $10 million each. He stacked the kind of numbers that make accountants break into applause. Add a $150 million art collection quietly appreciating in the background, decades of royalties from streaming deals, and a few shrewd endorsements like American Express, and you've got an estimated net worth of around $400 million. And he did it all without ever lowering himself to cologne ads or energy drink campaigns. Class never goes out of style. But what's wealth without purpose? For Jack, generosity was best served quietly. He's been a longtime supporter of the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation, donating without fanfare, matching pledges in silence, slipping into fundraisers like a ghost in a tuxedo. Jack never asked for his name on a plaque, one organizer said. He just asked how much the medicine cost. He supported children's charities like Paul Newman's Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, sometimes showing up in person to tell stories and sign autographs for kids battling illness. He's given to ActionAid, supporting women's empowerment and poverty relief. And back home in Los Angeles, he's helped raise funds for the families of fallen police officers. Again, without press releases or staged photo ops. That's the thing about Jack. Even when the camera stopped rolling, he stayed true to his script. Private, intentional, and quietly generous. And when it came to family, the story was just as raw, real, and unpredictable. He married actress Sandra Knight in 1962, back when he was still hustling for bit parts. Their daughter Jennifer was born a year later, right as his career started to lift off. By the time they divorced in 1968, Jack was learning the hardest line in life: how to balance ambition with being present. "Children give your life resonance," he once said, But I wasn't always there the way I wanted. It's one of those lines that sounds like it belongs in a script, except this time, it was just him being honest. His longest love was actress Anjelica Huston. Their relationship stretched from the early 70s to 1990, a Hollywood power couple with equal parts glamour and turbulence. Huston stood beside him through Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, and Batman. But Jack's legendary charm didn't always stay put. By the end, their breakup was as famous as their love. He later acknowledged his son Caleb Goddard, born to actress Susan Ann Spash, and welcomed other children, Honey Hallman in 1982, Lorraine in 1990, and Raymond in 1992, both with model Rebecca Broussard. There are whispers of a fifth, Tessa, born in 1994, whom he's quietly supported. For a man who built his legend on chaos, fatherhood gave him a center. By his 70s, the wild nights faded into quieter days. Lakers games watched from the sofa instead of courtside. Art swapped for conversation. Romance replaced by reflection. The rogue had retired, but the man remained magnetic. Today, the once reckless king spends most of his time within those Mulholland gates, surrounded by family, friends, and memories that don't need applause. His legacy isn't just carved in Oscars or box office records. It lives in the art he collected, the children he raised, and the stories he left behind. Because Jack Nicholson didn't just play roles, he lived them. Every grin, every glare, every scene was a lesson in what it means to be entirely, unapologetically human. Behind those iron gates, the last king of Hollywood still reigns, not through noise, but through presence. The sunglasses may be off, but the legend never dimmed. So if you ever drive up Mulholland and feel a breeze that smells faintly of cigars, paint, and movie magic, congratulations. You're breathing the same air as Hollywood's last true original. And if you enjoyed this look inside the life, empire, and legacy of Jack Nicholson, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because around here, the spotlight never fades. It just finds another legend.